It's a big, noisy universe of stocks out there. Welcome to Goodbye or Goodbye. Our goal to help cut through that noise to navigate the best moves for your portfolio. Today, we're focusing on the energy sector with oil prices rising, mega mergers taking place, and the demand on the grid in focus as the AI industry picks up pace. There are plenty of investment areas opening up. What's the best way to play it right now? I'm here with Kenny Polcari, Kace Capital Advisors, managing partner. And may I just say, I've known Kenny for a long time, and it is a real pleasure
Julie,
to have you in here to do this today.
It is such a pleasure to do this.
I'm
so
much
happy
fun.
to be here.
Going back to my days back down on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. So let's get to your buy stock here. It is Consol Energy, the coal company here. And you can see the stock has gone up more or less over the past year. So let's get to your case here. First of all, you say strong earnings.
So they've got strong earnings, and they're going to have stronger earnings in 2024. Expected to be $14, $15 a share, which I think actually is a little bit low. So I think they could come in even better than that.
Interesting. All right. And we're also looking, as you say, at the growth potential.
They're in this buyback, right? They're in this buyback mode, and it trades at a 4 times multiple. Its industry is trading closer to an 8 times multiple. So if this thing trades to an 8 times multiple and it earns $14 or $15 a share, we're talking $120 in the stock. Currently, I think it's trading about 85 at the moment.
Right. And then also there's the idea that there is a big new sucker of energy, if you will.
There is a huge sucker of energy, and these AI chips and these data centers that are all over the place, they just suck the energy in off the grid. I said, so we as a nation are going to have to come up with all sources of energy we can. And so this is a coal and thermal metallurgical producer. This is not going away, right? As much as they're saying, it's coal, it's fossil fuels, all that stuff, it is not going away because we need the energy.
Well, it's not going away, except there is the transition, right? So
Correct.
So that would be the risk to your bull case here, is that we definitely have seen an attempted policy pivot away from coal.
Right, but you may have a policy pivot, but if the alternative energy is not going to produce enough energy, then we're going to go right back to what does produce energy, right? But that is a risk. So if there's more regulation, or if they force it out, or if you get the more climate change pressures, then you could see this story back off a little bit.
Gotcha. All right, so let's get to your stock that you don't like. This one is big old oil and gas company,
which is a great,
Chevron.
blue chip name. I get it. It's not so much that I don't like it, but when we're talking about where the opportunity is, I think that's right. That's really what we're talking about.
All right, let's run through it then. You're talking about 10% profit margin for this company.
This has a 10% profit margin versus CEIX. They have a 25% profit margin. Chevron has a 13% return on equity. CEIX has a 50% return on equity. So there's, just mathematically, those numbers are different, right? And so if you're talking about a trade, one to buy and one maybe to avoid, that's why this seems apparent to me, right?
Yeah, and another way to sort of value it here is EBITDA to market cap.
Right, to market cap. So there is 7 times, CEIX is the 2 times, and even if CEIX buys back, they continue to buy back their stock, it's still going to be cheaper on a relative basis than Chevron. So I think that's the opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, Chevron's also trying to make a monster acquisition, so we could see if
a lot could change. But the risk to this, once again, is regulation, right? If my analysis is wrong, or there's a push for renewables. But look, Chevron has a big presence in renewables, so it actually could end up being good for Chevron. That would be the risk of why I'm wrong.
Gotcha. If they are diversifying the revenue streams and bring in more money,
which they are on the alternative platforms, but I think from an investment trading perspective, that short-term theory that I come up with, I think works.
And do you like energy sort of writ large? Do you think it's a good area to be?
I like energy. I particularly like energy going into 2024 and 2025. And look, if there's a change of leadership at the top, a Republican administration, I think energy is really in play if there's a Republican administration.
Okay, so let's summarize what you're telling people here with this particular play here. Buy Consol Energy based on those strong financials and future demand. On the other side, you say avoid Chevron. The return on investment is too low, as are the profit margins.
Correct.
One other thing that I wanted to discuss while you're here, you are well known not just for putting out a daily market note, but you always include a recipe in that note.
Because food and finance, it kind of works, right? Because finance can be so unnerving for people, but yet food can be so nourishing, right?
Yes.
And I like to cook, and I don't cook fancy, I cook home style. And so today I gave you zucchini surprise.
Zucchini surprise. What is a zucchini surprise?
Which is, you got to go buy the zucchinis, you trim the edges, you slice them on a mandolin so they're long.
Yes.
Right? You need olive oil, you need breadcrumbs, fresh grated Parmigiano cheese, salt and pepper. So then you slice the zucchini, you dip them in the oil, then you dip them in the breadcrumbs that you've mixed with the cheese and the salt and pepper. Then you put a slice of either prosciutto or ham, provolone cheese or Swiss cheese, whatever really you want. Roll them and then just put them in a baking dish, right? Don't do anything else. Put them in a baking dish. Put them in your oven for 350 degrees for about 25 or 30 minutes. Take them out. They're all nice and brown and melty inside. They're delicious.
Perfect.
And it's easy. You can have it as dinner. You can have it as an appetizer.
That's my goodbye today, I think, is the zucchini surprise.